Hello there, everyone. How are you doing? Okay, well, last week I said that I was coming down with a cold, and now guess what happened? That's right, I have a fucking cold. But what I didn't expect was to come down with a sore throat on top of a runny nose. But of course, that can't be all, because I'm sure that this is just the start of me having fun. First thing in the morning, I'm sure I'm going to be feeling unbearably cold for no damn reason. Now, thankfully, I am no stranger to mimicking voices, so I should be able to do it even for this video. So, let's go. Okay, let's get on with today's topic, and that is the future of those VR headsets. You know, the Oculus Rift, Sony's Project Morpheus, and whatever the hell Valve's shit is named, that HTC made. And I know it has been talked about a bit, but with them right around the corner, I feel, well, it would be nice to talk about which one will probably fail out of those three. Because in this world, someone has to stand at the top of the money pile and proclaim just how much better they are than everyone else. That is why companies like to advertise that they are the number one car in America, the number one cell phone provider. Hell, even porno sites advertise that they are the most visited porn site on the web. So no matter how big that VR market is, companies are going to want to be number one. And while saying that, we can probably count Sony out of the picture because it seems like their VR set will only work on their systems, so it limits them a bit. And that will leave us with the Oculus Rift and Valve's headset. And in my opinion, I think the Oculus Rift will probably win big for the reason that they are making it compatible with the PC and the Xbox One. And versatility can be a big seller. But that all depends on when Microsoft releases their HoloLens, which is more of a interactive reality than just basic VR. And finally, there's Valve's headset, the HTC Vive. Now, this has me interested because when Valve is associated with something, it usually sells. Well, except Steam mods, obviously. But the PC giant still has a lot of consumer trust to burn through. And if they offer a good product, then, well, the Steam fanboys will probably buy it up by the millions. And PC users tend to have a good amount of disposable income, so as long as it isn't terrible, it might be a close race. But even though I am saying that, just because something sells the most doesn't mean that they are the best, because looking at the gear that is going into each headset, it looks like Sony is going to have the most powerful version, capable of pushing 120 frames per second. So either Sony is planning way into the future, or they are just overcompensating. Which I wouldn't be surprised by, honestly, because people tend to forget that Sony was a tech company way before they even made the PlayStation. So here we have a company that was known for making high quality televisions and stereo systems. And all those VR headsets are televisions with stereos that are strapped to your head. So it would stand to reason that Sony's version would be the best since they are, for the most part, that is what they were known for in the past. And I don't think their pride would let them release a subpar headset. And now that I've said that, let's not forget that there are others out there that are entering the VR market. And of those, Samsung is probably one of the big two out there that are going to be entering. But I have no idea what type of VR they are exactly going for. It seems as if they will focus more on movies and mobile headset games. Now, for the hardcore gamer, this may not sound interesting, but it may actually catch on with the general public, depending on how they advertise it. And finally, the oddest one of them all, the 4 VR unit, which is looking to be the most expensive one. The odd thing with this unit is that it will be able to track eye movement while playing games, which sounds awesome for first person shooters and will probably save a lot of people neck surgery as they stop bobbing their heads back and forth for hours on end. Now, there are others out there that will try VR, but for those like Google, I can't for the life of me imagine strapping my phone to my head. But then again, maybe I just need to try it, because that just may be what the other headsets feel like. As for my personal opinion on the topic, I do think VR is here to stay. And I think that Valve and, well, the Oculus Rift have the higher chance of selling. Now, whether or not it is good enough in its current form is another question entirely, because we are still talking about strapping a TV to your face for hours on end. And that just doesn't seem safe, let alone good enough for your eyes. And that's not to mention the insane lawsuits that are going to start popping up from these things, because the common public are idiots. I can just read the headlines now. Man tries to take a bath while wearing the Oculus Rift. Electrocutes himself. Files lawsuit. Female tries scary game with the Oculus Rift. Claims she heard a scary noise behind her. Snaps her own neck trying to look for it. Files a lawsuit. Man stays in the Oculus Rift for 20 hours a day for the whole week. Is now blind. Files a lawsuit. Man watches porn with the Oculus Rift. Can no longer get erect. Files a lawsuit. I am very sure that these dumbass lawsuits will be coming in the near future, and I hope to cover them so people can get a laugh. Anyway, that was fun to do, and I've talked long enough of this cold of mine in my shitty voice. You all have a nice day. And if you are planning to get a VR headset, can you tell me which one you're planning to pick up? I think it will be interesting to know. Anyway, like I said, I hope you all have a blessed day.